Good morning, dear students. Today we shall learn a new lesson in history, ancient civilizations. Students, do you know the meaning of civilizations? It's a society which has its own highly developed culture and way of life. Settlements were planned and laid out, a polity emerged, society became organized, and food production and craft production were regulated. As civilization began to take shape, huge buildings were built, the art of writing developed, and science and technology contributed to the betterment of society. So students, we have actually in this lesson we are going to learn about 4 civilizations. In that we can see first Egyptian civilization, second the Mesopotamian civilization, third Chinese civilization, and the fourth the Indus Valley civilization. So today we shall learn only about the Egyptian civilization. So we can see here about Egyptian civilization. So ancient Egypt was a civilization of ancient North Africa, concentrated along the lower reaches of the Nile River, situated in the place that is now the country Egypt. And the geography of it, if you see, means it's bounded by the Red Sea on the east and Mediterranean Sea in the north. Egypt is irrigated by the river Nile, which originates in Lake Victoria in the south and flows into the Mediterranean Sea in the north. Deserts are seen on both sides of river Nile. So actually people used to say, if river Nile would have not been there, means definitely it would have been a desert. So because of river Nile, people settled over there, and there flourished this civilization. Egyptian civilization depended completely on river Nile, and hence Egypt was called the gift of Nile by the Greek historian Herodotus. The Nile also served as a means of transport. The Nile valley is very rich and fertile, as the river deposits fresh alluvium every year, and Egypt became intimately connected with the Sangam age Tamilagam by the sea route. So they had very good relation with many more countries. So students, now the next two we shall learn about the king. Actually they call the king as pharaohs, and we'll see the society and the administration during those days. The people treated pharaoh as a divine form. The entire social system was supported by the work and production of artisans, including stonecutter, masons, potter, carpenters, coppersmiths and goldsmiths, peasants and workers. Land belonged to the king and was assigned to the officials. Slavery was not common, but captives were used as slaves. And viziers were the high officials who administered territories under the direction of the pharaohs. The Egyptians believed in life after death. Therefore, they preserved the dead body. The art of preserving the dead body is known as mummification. Pyramids and tombs were built to preserve the body of pharaohs. And we can see about pharaoh. Actually, pharaoh is a common title of the monarch of ancient Egypt. So let's see about the pyramids. Here we also see about the ancient, those days, the pyramids. We can say the Egyptian pyramids are ancient shaped masonry structures located in Egypt. As of November 2008 sources cite either 118 or 138 as a number of identified Egyptian pyramids. Most were built as tombs for the country's pharaohs and their consorts during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods. So let's see about the agriculture and trade of the country, of the civilization. Here the Egyptian, they cultivated wheat, barley, vegetables, figs, melons, pomegranates and vines. They also grew flax, which was made into linen. The most important crop was grain. The Egyptians grew their crops along the banks of the river Nile on the rich black soil, and which was left behind after the yearly floods. The ancient Egyptians kept animals as pets, ranging from domesticated dogs and cats to baboons, monkeys, fish, gazelles, birds, lions, mongoose, and hippos. Crocodiles were even kept as a sacred animal in the temples of the Sobek. And next, we shall also see the Egyptians were wonderful traders. They traded gold, papyrus, linen, and grain for cedar, wood, ebony, copper, iron, ivory, and lapis. Ships sailed up and down the Nile River, bringing goods to various ports. So now let's read about the mummies of Egypt. A mummy is a dead body whose skin and organs have been preserved by either intentional or accidental exposure to chemicals, extreme cold, very low humidity, or lack of air, so that the recovered body doesn't decay further if kept in cool and dry conditions. Some authorities restrict the use of the terms to bodies liberally embalmed with chemicals, but the use of the word to cover accidentally desiccated bodies goes back at least 1615 AD. So let's learn more about the art and architecture of the Egyptian civilization. So Egyptians art and architecture, the ancient architectural monuments, sculptures, paintings, and decorative crafts produced mainly during the dynastic periods of the first 3 millennia. So here we see these people, they had given a beautiful various types of pyramids we could see, and in that one of the most important one what we see here is the great Sphinx of Giza. So in that is given, it's a massive limestone image of a lion with a human head. It is dated to the time of Pharaoh Khafre. It is one of the largest sculptures of the world and measures 73 meters in length and 20 meters in height. So it's really, even now also we find many tourists go and visit these places. And the next, about religion, let's learn more about religion. Ancient Egyptian religion was a complex system of polytheistic beliefs and rituals that formed an integral part of ancient Egyptian society. And Amun, Re, Set, Thoth, Horus, Anubis are some of the gods of Egyptians. They worshipped many gods, but the sun god Re was a predominant one. So later on, sun god was called Amun. So other than these, let's learn more about the philosophy, science, and literature. These people, they devised a solar calendar that consisted of 12 months of 30 days each, with 5 days added to the end of the year. This calendar was introduced as early as 4200 BC. So literary works included mathematics, astronomy, medicine, magic, and religion. The Egyptians also distinguished themselves in painting, art, sculpture, pottery, music, and weaving. So, and they had a unique form of writing, and their form of writing is known as hieroglyphic. Hieroglyphic was used in the inscriptions on seals and other objects. The hieratic and another form of writing was used for common purposes. This form of writing used a pictogram based system. See, it was developed around 3000 BC, and many texts and books were written using this script. So let's learn more about the characteristics of the Egyptian civilization and also their contributions. The contributions of Egyptians to the world civilization is noteworthy. The method of writing, literature, art, architecture, religion, science of the Egyptians had compelled the people of the world to raise their eyebrows. And the Egyptians developed a solar calendar system. The second, the pyramids and their designs show their mathematical and surveying skills. Number 3, hieroglyphic writing system attests to their skills in handling symbols. 4, preservation of human body in the form of mummies. And the fifth one, they applied innovation in the use of science and technology. So till now we learn about them, and they are very famous for their art and architecture, and especially mummification of the dead bodies. So students, that's all in Egyptian civilization, and in the next class I'll teach you about the Mesopotamian civilization. So thank you students.